You're tired, right? Body heavy, mind exhausted, no energy left to fight. Good, because this is where most people stop. But I'm Monkey D. Luffy, and I'll tell you something you don't want to hear. Being tired is not your excuse, it's your test. So the real question is, will you still show up, even now? Let me be real with you. Chasing something big isn't exciting. It's exhausting. It drains you, day after day, without giving anything back. People think it's about passion. No, it's about endurance. Because there will be days when your body screams rest, when your mind whispers quit, when your heart says this isn't worth it. And those days, they come more often than you think. I've fought battles where I could barely stand. My arms felt like stone. My legs refused to move. Every breath felt like fire. But the real pain wasn't physical. It was inside. That feeling of being overwhelmed, of carrying too much, of giving everything, and still not being enough. You ever felt that? When no matter how hard you try, you're still behind, still struggling, still doubting? You watch others move ahead, and you start questioning yourself. Why am I so slow? Why is this so hard for me? And slowly, that doubt turns into exhaustion. Not just physical, but mental. You don't even feel like trying anymore. Not because you don't care, but because you're tired of failing. Tired of starting over. Tired of pushing forward, only to fall again. And that's where most people disappear. They don't lose loudly. They fade quietly. They stop showing up. They choose comfort over growth. And they tell themselves, I'll try again tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. I've seen it. I've felt it. That moment where doing nothing feels easier than trying one more time. But listen carefully. That's the trap. Because the moment you stop showing up, you start losing yourself. One day, I stopped asking myself, am I tired? Because the answer was always yes. Instead, I asked, does it matter? And the answer, no, it doesn't. Because being tired doesn't change the goal. It doesn't move the dream closer. It doesn't build strength. So I made a decision, a simple one, a brutal one. I show up, no matter what. Not when I feel good, not when I feel motivated, but especially when I feel nothing. That's when it matters. That's when you prove who you really are. Anyone can fight when they're strong. But can you fight when you're empty? That's the difference. That's where power is built. Not in comfort, not in energy, but in resistance. Every time I showed up tired, I became stronger. Not physically, but mentally. Because I was training something deeper, my will. You don't need more motivation. You need standards. A rule you never break. I show up. That's it. No excuses. No delays. No negotiation. Because discipline isn't about intensity. It's about consistency. Even if you move slow, even if you feel weak, you still move. That's how you win. Not by doing everything perfectly, but by refusing to stop. You think strength comes from big moments? Number. It comes from small decisions. Daily. Silent. Unseen. The days you don't feel like it, but you still do it anyway. That's where you separate yourself. That's where you become dangerous. Because now, you're not controlled by feelings. You're controlled by purpose. And once you reach that point, nothing can stop you. Not failure, not pain, not exhaustion. Because your body might be tired, but your will doesn't break. So now, look at yourself. Be honest. Not with me, with yourself. When you're tired, when your energy is gone, when your mind is begging you to stop, what do? Do you quit? Or do you show up anyway? Because in the end, success doesn't belong to the strongest or the smartest. It belongs to the one who kept going when everyone else stopped. So tell me, are you going to rest forever? Or are you finally ready to show up, even when you're too tired? You think showing up once is enough? No, that's just the beginning. Because the real battle isn't one day. It's every day. Again and again and again. There will be mornings when your body feels broken, when your mind is heavy, when even getting up feels like a fight. And nobody will clap for you. Nobody will notice. Nobody will care. That's where most people quit. Not in failure, but in silence. They stop showing up when it's inconvenient. They stop showing up when it's uncomfortable. They stop showing up when it stops being exciting. But me, I kept going. Not because I was special, not because I had more strength, but because I understood something simple. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to wake you up. No one is going to push you forward. No one is going to fight your battles. It's you, only you. And that truth, it's heavy, it's lonely, it hurts, but it also gives you power. Because the moment you accept that, you stop waiting, you stop complaining, you stop making excuses, and you start moving. Deeper breakdown. You see, your biggest enemy isn't the world, it's your mind. That voice inside, the one that tells you to stop, the one that tells you you're not enough, the one that reminds you of every failure. That voice, it doesn't disappear. It gets louder, especially when you're tired, especially when you're alone, especially when things aren't working. It will tell you, take a break. You've done enough. You deserve to rest. And sometimes it sounds right, but that's the test. Because there's a difference between rest and giving up. And only you know the truth. Are you resting or are you escaping? Are you recovering or are you avoiding? Be honest, because lies won't build your future. Only action will. Rising force, becoming unstoppable. The moment you start moving without excuses, something changes. Slowly, quietly, but powerfully. You stop depending on motivation. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop caring about how you feel, and you become consistent. That's dangerous, because consistency beats everything. Talent? No. Motivation? No. Luck? No. Consistency wins. Every time. You don't need to be the best. You just need to not stop. That's it. Outlast everyone. Outwork everyone. Outshow everyone. While others wait, You move. While others quit, you continue. While others complain, you build. That's how you win. Not in one big moment, but in thousands of small ones. Final strike, emotional peak ending. So now, this is where everything becomes real. No more words, no more thinking, no more planning. Just truth. Right now, in this moment, you have two choices. Stay where you are, comfortable, tired, stuck, or get up and move, even if it hurts, even if you're exhausted, even if you don't feel ready. Because listen carefully, you don't become strong when you feel powerful. You become strong when you act despite weakness. So I'll ask you one last time. When your body says, I'm done, when your mind says, I can't, when everything inside you wants to quit, will you still move? Or will you become another person who had potential but never used it?